What's up, you guys? It's Sean Ross Sapp. Common Bengals W. Thursday night football. Bengals Ravens kickoff just happened. We got the Bengals going up the field right now, hopefully for 7. But you might be watching me on Twitter, X, commonbengalsw.com, but also DraftKings. I want to thank them so much for having me on their YouTube channel as well. Very excited about this. And hopefully by the time this experience is over, I'm still excited about it. I have never live streamed my reactions to a Bengals game before because usually, like, listen, I'm cleaning some things up for this stream. That's for sure. If you're watching, please leave a comment. We would greatly appreciate it as I watch Chase Brown run right into his own offensive line, which is generally not productive whatsoever. Whatsoever. But man, uh, this game earlier this season, I was there at Paycor Stadium. I am a Cincinnati Bengals season ticket holder, and it was brutal, man. And I can't imagine it's going to be much better because the Bengals, like I'll talk more about it when they're on defense, but it went, I would say, fairly like how I expected it to go. And man, that was surprised that one wasn't a flag there, as it looked like 81 got mauled. Although that's me being a homer. Let's look at that one again. Goes out over the middle. Nah, it's probably clean. That's one that I want the Bengals to get that same call, even though Humphrey might have got there a little bit early. That's the call that I need the Bengals to get tonight because if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you have to plan to try to score every single drive. If you punt once, there's a good chance you're not going to win this game. If you punt twice, I don't think you will win this game. And they just went for a first down. Jamar Chase, part of Burrow was behind the line of scrimmage there, so no issue there. And with the Bengals, you also can't count on your kicking game at this point. Evan McPherson got that big increase in salary and just hasn't been getting it done. Hasn't been getting it done. Now let me know if my audio here interferes. 'Cause I don't want to get DraftKings in any trouble or anything like that. I do want to hear the game as it goes on. We got Chase Brown. Is that Khalil? No. But Chase Brown had an incredible game last week. It's just a matter of keeping him consistent. He got a ton of touches last week. He was good in the passing game as well. And I love that Jamar Chase play right there. You've got to keep him involved. You've got to send as many people his direction as possible, and then get Jermaine Burton and Mike Gesicki involved like they did. Well, they didn't get Jermaine Burton involved last week. That's a whole different can of worms we'll get into. But Mike Gesicki really showed up last week, and he's turned into their number 2 target with the absence of T. Higgins. 3rd and 4, they're probably going to throw here. No, they're probably going to go timeout. Okay, nope. Or an audible. He sees something. I've just seen so many times where instead of calling an audible at the line, the Bengals get in this situation, especially on the road, and even at home, where they've had to call timeouts where they didn't need them. And there we go. Got within the 5. I love it. Love it. Yoshi Voss. So Yoshi Voss is a guy that I look at and I go, he's not Tyler Boyd. Definitely isn't T. Higgins. But next year, when the Bengals do not have T. Higgins, more than likely, he's probably going to need to be their number 3 because there's a lot of question marks around Jermaine Burton right now. I mean, you're going to have tight end targets that pick up more plays, even though Eric All got hurt, so there's a big question mark there now. But Yoshi Voss he's a little bit polarizing. He finds a way to get in the end zone, but when he's thrown at and it's nowhere near like, you're not gonna see him catch a ball and then take off for an extra 10 or 20. He's probably gonna get tackled right where he catches the ball. Mike Gesicki misses a sideline throw. It looked like maybe they were couple yards closer, but he couldn't hold on to it. Yoshi Fox is a guy that can get into the end zone. He has what's he throwing the flag for? Oh, they ruled that a catch? Oh, yeah, that didn't hit the ground. No, that's gonna get there's I didn't think that was a catch when I saw it live. I didn't think that was even ruled a catch until Harbaugh threw the flag. Yeah, I think Harbaugh's gonna win this one. I think he's gonna end up taking this one, pretty easily. Interesting. So, inactives for the Bengals, like, man, you're missing Orlando Brown, one of the best linemen in the league. You're missing Zach Moss, who at this point is your RB2, but is also your pass protector. Um, Charlie Jones, who had been your return man, and the reality with Charlie Jones is he's either gonna run it back for a touchdown or he's gonna do a cartwheel, Axel Foley shoulder roll, all this stuff, and not give you anything. I actually really liked what I saw last week out of Trenton Irwin as the return man. A lot more than I like Trenton Irwin catching footballs or having them thrown in his general direction. He's like 3 for 10 this year in targets. But I was mentioning earlier, like there's some shifting that's going on here. Charlie Jones is out, so Trenton Irwin filling in there. I would have Yoshi Voss fill in for that Trenton Irwin role that we saw a couple years ago, where when Chase was out, when Higgins was out, Trenton Irwin really stepped up and with far less of a pedigree than that of Andre Yoshibas. But the Bengals, they got to have it now with T. Higgins out as much as he has been and him likely on his way out. Jermaine Burton, they took a big gamble on him, and so far it has not paid off. And last week, it looked like the returns were going to be at an all time low for Jermaine Burton unless things get straightened up. Mm. And I see someone saying, Burton number 2. I mean, that's ideal, right? Like, that's the ideal situation. Like, I believe that Jermaine Burton has the talent to be a number 2. I mean, the only reason he fell to the Bengals was because of these perceived character issues. However, like, I just right now, I don't have a ton of confidence in it, and the Bengals keep getting hampered. I mean, you lose Orlando Brown, that sucks. You lose Trent Brown, he was really bad. Wow, I cannot believe they ruled that a catch. I mean, listen, good for the Bengals, I'm happy. Like, that's one I'll readily say, Bengals got away with one there, that was not a catch. And if it is, what is I'll keep my thoughts to myself as this play goes. Oh, terrible. Sailed right over Chase's head. Bad throw. Chase ain't T. Higgins, but I didn't think that was a catch anyway. 3rd and goal, Bengals gotta score here because you know what's gonna happen. You know the Ravens are gonna march right down that field, and they're gonna score 7 points. The Bengals have been pretty good in the red zone. What do we got here? Wow, Baltimore already forced into a second timeout because that chat failed. Alright, I'm good with that. I know this is week 11. Man, has time flew. Bengals are in a situation where they have to win out to make the playoffs. They aren't in a situation where they have to win out to make the playoffs. They are one game out of the wild card right now. They're not going to win the North. That is not going to happen unless there's some unfortunate and catastrophic injury to the Ravens, which I hope doesn't happen. I don't think that they're going to do that. And Burrow had to sail it out of the back. So fourth down and probably kick that field goal now. I don't think you can afford to kick field goals in this game either. The Ravens are going to drop 35 at least during this game. At least 35. Okay, they're going for it. I don't feel real confident about this. Glad they're doing it. Glad they're doing it. Zach Taylor's got to coach with some ball, but I don't feel confident in it. But again, glad he's doing it as long as it's not a screenplay. There we go. Trip. Oh, there's a flag. Please be pass interference. Begging for something. Oh, I hope it's defensive holding. Willis across the line. Makes it sound like I'm in the Bengals Gatorade tub. Let me make sure that my audio setting is right. Test, test. I think I'm good. I think I'm all right. Does my audio sound okay? Hey, Chase Brown. Listen, buddy, I will take that all day. By the way, I immensely regret dropping Chase Brown earlier this year when it looked like Zach Moss was going to get the majority of the snaps. That was a regretful decision on my half. Let me know how my audio sounds, guys. So for the several of you watching on the DraftKings YouTube right now, most people know me pro wrestling. I do. Yeah, it sounds like 2012 YouTube. That's a shame. I just sound muffled. Let's see if I can fix it. Test, test. Bummer. If I have to, I will switch over to my other setup, but ideally not. Let's see what I can do here. Bear with. I mean, listen, I've never been a reaction streamer ever, so we'll see. How does this sound, guys? Is this any better? How about now? How about now? It's not so easy to test my audio in here. There we go. Thank you to King of the North and Connor Augustine. I greatly appreciate you guys. Now, if you guys don't mind, go show some love over. If you're watching on Twitter or Common Bengals W, please go over to DraftKings on YouTube. Show them some love. Let them know that you give a hoot about me. But listen, that drive went about as well as I could have asked for out of the Cincinnati Bengals, because I think the Bengals are going to have to put up 40 to stand a chance in this game. So their defense, as I will discuss, is real bad. And it got worse since the Bengals played the Ravens at home at that. But as it turns out, the Bengals have been much better on the road than they have at home. Gosh, they're 1-4 at home. It's been miserable being a season ticket holder. But we'll see how all this plays out. Let's see how the numbers looked on that drive. Joe Burrow, 5 of 8, 61 yards. Chase Brown had 4 yards or 4 carries for 8 yards. a little bit skewed because of the touchdown in the end zone. Jamar Chase, 2 catches, 32 yards. Yoshi Voss got that 19-yard catch. Gesicki got that 3-yarder that I did not think was a catch at all. And Jermaine Burton, um, a target there. Marlon Humphrey, the pass deflection. Listen, do I think he got there a little early on that? Yes. But like I said, I want that call if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals all day long. Because if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you're going to need some help. Also, I am very critical of Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals play calling, but they showed some balls and they went for it on 4th down. And I think you got to do that in this type of game where you know your defense is not going to be up to par. Sean, thoughts on Kareem Hunt being a viable fantasy football pick in 2024? So running backs are really hard to come by in the Canyon Cup league that I do with a bunch of wrestlers, MMA fighters, and some actors, comedians, stuff like that. I passed on picking up Kareem Hunt, and I really regret that as well. That's when he was first getting added back to, I think, the practice squad or something like that. And I mean, like the initial, oh boy, there we go. Oh my God, almost a pick. Okay, Cam Taylor Britt has been abused since like week 2. Like very early in the season, after he looked like he would be a legit CB1, possibly franchise corner, he started to get picked on, man. And when he started to get picked on, he was getting exposed, man. Like really, really badly. To the point to where he didn't look like he belonged on the field and he understood being benched. And he just came up with a big deflection there. And Derrick Henry, listen, if you can contain Derrick Henry to 5 or 6 yards, that's pretty well all you can ask. I can't even dislike Derrick Henry. But anytime the Chiefs pick up an offensive piece, you got to at least keep an eye out. Yes, that. So that's why I almost picked him up. And wish I would have, man, because like I got Madison who fumbled the ball backwards for 20 yards last week against the Bengals. So I was both excited and frustrated there. But yeah, I need a good running back to step up. And oh, there we go. Is that a hands to the face or BJ Hill after sitting a game out? And we're talking 4th down. The Bengals went up the field, scored, and they got a stop on the Ravens. Now listen, I was very pleased at how the Bengals performed against Derrick Henry until that incredible run at the end of the game. And now the Bengals have BJ Hill, Sheldon Rankins, and they have their 2 rookies, McKinley Jackson and Chris Jenkins. So they have a little bit of depth there that they did not have early on in the season at 100%. BJ Hill's not 100%. I doubt it. I doubt any of these guys are 100% because they have all missed time with injury. But I've been pretty satisfied with how they have controlled the run. You haven't seen nearly as many explosive runs, 9+ yards out of the Bengals' opponents. Here we go. Oh, you're going to see this 50 times today. You knew it. You knew it was going to happen. Joe Burrow hurt himself last week or last year against the Ravens, and there they are. They're showing it, and it sucks. But I'll tell you what, it made me a lot more confident in Jake Browning as a backup. Throw the ball. Woo. Now that is why you need Orlando Brown. And that's why you cannot rely on Cody Ford. Whew, because number 99 blew past Cody Ford. Cody Ford is not even like, 5th on the tackle depth chart because Trent Brown went down and Orlando Brown is down, and they got Mims up, who's been playing great, but that was almost a fumble by Joe Burrow. Now, that was a good block by Cody Ford, who just gave up on the play, and an even better deflection from number 29 from the Ravens. Threw it right at the guy. Lucky it wasn't a pick. 3rd and 10. Need a big play here. Need a big play here. All right. So, um, again, if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, man, you really, I mean, obviously you want to convert, you want to score every drive, obviously. But I don't know how many defensive drives you're going to get like the one that we just saw. Damn. 3rd and 10, not a place you want to be. Joe Burrow did not look effective on this drive. And honestly, the first 2 drives, you've seen him throw more passes that get deflected or just over the head of somebody than you usually see in 3 or 4 drives for the Cincinnati Bengals. So, despite the score right now, I think the Ravens are playing him very well. Throw the ball. Chase wants a flag, and he gets one. I was gonna say, Joe Burrow does not throw the ball that east of Jamar Chase unless something catastrophic happened. Oh my gosh. Big hold. Yeah, he's right. He's right. Hey, I'll take this all day. I don't care how the Bengals win. I just care that they win. That is not one that you, want. Do you think the Bengals season is on the line tonight, or do you think they have more runway? A lot of it depends on, the Chargers and the Colts. So, as I watch this play, let me watch this one unfold, but all right, Chase Brown fighting for that yardage. I like it. So right now, obviously, there are 7 playoff teams. The Broncos are 5-4, Chargers are 5-3, Colts are 4-5, Bengals are 4-5. Now, the Broncos are probably, listen, they're the way that things are looking right now. Let's see who do they play? Hell, I don't know. Think. Okay, Broncos play the Chiefs this week. Is that correct? Well, they're probably losing that. There we go. Big first down. The Chargers are playing the Titans. Well, they're probably winning that game. But there are 5-win teams up to the 6th playoff spot right now. Colts are playing Buffalo. They're probably losing as well. If the Bengals win this game, if the Bengals win this game, there's a chance they are right on the bubble. If they lose it, they are probably right around where they are because listen, Jets, Titans, Dolphins, Browns, Jags, Raiders, they're probably not coming back. They're probably not. Jets will try because they have a malcontent at quarterback, but there we go. Chase Brown. And a flag, so that's going to be a hold. My God. Who was it? Was it Cody Ford? Nope. Ted Karras. Karras can't do that. Got to be a leader, bruh. So, Browns, Jags, Dolphins, Titans, they're 2-win teams. They're done. They're cooked. The Jets will try. They'll do what they can, right? But I think they're largely out of this, barring some unforeseen, run. Although if they win this week, I'm not going to write them off. If they lose this week, they're cooked. Oh, Gasecki. There we go. Man, what a signing he has been. Mike Gesicki is a guy, for those of you unfamiliar, deceptively big, first off. So when T. Higgins is out, even though he's listed as a tight end, he fills that role an awful lot of a 6.5 foot guy that can go up, get the ball, and a guy that will fight for yardage. Now, despite him being bigger than T. Higgins, I don't think that he's got the same physical attributes that allow him to fight for yardage, but he still gets the extra yardage. He can line up in the slot. He can do a lot of things. As oh man, Tanner Hudson getting reps. That's scary in the year of our Lord 2024. Bengals would be 5-4 right now if it weren't for Tanner Hudson just fumbling it at the goal line, just sticking the ball out. Ridiculous. But Eric all got hurt, so he's going to continue to get reps. But Gasecki has become a very nice hybrid and a great replacement of Tyler Boyd. And we see what or what not Tyler Boyd is doing in Tennessee. I wouldn't mind it if they brought him back. Um, in like a, honestly, I kind of hope that he ends up back on the Bengals. Oh, nice catch by Jamar Chase. I kind of hope Tyler Boyd ends up on the Bengals next year as like a veteran presence, and he can help out like a Jermaine Burton. Yoshi Voss will be in year 3 of his deal, so I need to help him then. But I think he would be a great mentor for Jermaine Burton. Now, granted, different types of receivers. Tyler Boyd, more of a slot guy, but uh, based on what we saw of Jermaine Burton at the casino, maybe he's a slots guy too, huh? But I would like to see that. I'd like to see him back. But listen, my ADHD catching up with me. Mike Gesicki has been phenomenal, and he's going to have to be more phenomenal because woo, Chase Brown, man. He's gonna have to be more phenomenal because T. Higgins stays hurt, unfortunately. And Eric All, who was I wouldn't say a high risk, but he was certainly a high reward draft pick based on athleticism, had become tight end one as Gasicki had moved, a little bit further down the depth chart there. And unfortunately, All is out for the year. So Gasecki's gonna get a lot more looks. We saw Tanner Hudson earlier uh, get a reception. I was shocked to see him getting the ball thrown in his general direction last week, but there we go. Oh, no. Yoshi Voss fell down. Now, see, that's my issue with Yoshi Voss. If it's in the end zone, like, there's a decent chance that he's going to catch that ball. I would say I feel pretty comfortable throwing the ball to Yoshi Voss, but and within that field, he turns from I want to say like a wide receiver 3 that you feel confident in into a guy that like you go, well, what's he doing on the field? Because this happens a lot. Like that was his. That should have been a first down right there. Bengals should be in position right now to go up 10-0 as oh boy. Nope. Gesicki wants a flag, and even if it was a flag, they're probably not going to get that because Baltimore fans will riot. Oh, and look, you see Kappa just give up. You see the line give up. It's so frustrating to see that. This offensive line, which is the best offensive line they've had in a while, besides the fact that Orlando isn't there, they're going for it on 4th down again. I don't think this one's going to work out for them. Oh, boy. Throw the ball. Oh, no. Jermaine Burton was nowhere in the vicinity of that football. But I just watched Alex Kappa completely give up on a play. It's so like re-engage. What are you doing here, man? What are you doing? That was a frustrating drive to watch. That was not fun. Not a good one. Joseph Boza says, "Can't believe they went for it on 4th and 3." I can because they were sorta in no man's land. They were at, like, what, the 45? So you can punt it, and I just know how this goes, man. It's a 7 for Baltimore. So you're yeah. But also, I understand that if you're the Bengals, I don't know how comfortable I feel punting the ball at all if you've got a chance on your end of the field. Mm, woof. Joe Burrow now 9 for 17. So right now, he's playing like Chris Canty and Shannon Sharp pretend he plays. Like, listening to them, you would think that he is 9 for 17, throwing for 50, 55% every week. This week, he's not been accurate or the receivers haven't been able to get there. And Jermaine Burton 0 for 2 on targets right now. Mm, not good. Not good. And I agree with King of the North. You got to play up to your competition and the season is on the line. I agree. Because if the Bengals lose, I don't think they're completely out of it. It's getting there. It's getting real close. But if they win, they are absolutely in it. Absolutely in it. And all of a sudden you go, if the Bengals win, you're talking about a 5-5 Bengals team and a 6-4 Ravens team. I think the Commanders probably beat the Steelers this week. I think this is where the Steelers start to get, like, exposed a little bit. They've had a very easy schedule, let's make no mistake. It's incredible what they've done, but like, if you look at their schedule, it's getting tougher. But, I mean, they beat Falcons, who suck, Broncos, who are overperforming, Chargers, who are overperforming, so that's a good win. Colts, mediocre, Cowboys suck. They lost to them, but beat the Raiders suck. They beat the Jets suck. They beat the Giants suck. I think they're gonna lose to the Commanders. Then they got the Ravens. I think they're gonna lose to the Ravens. False start. Oh yeah, I'll take that. They're gonna beat the Browns. Bengals will be an interesting game. They're gonna beat the Browns. They're gonna get beat by the Ravens, and they're probably gonna get beat by the Eagles and the Chiefs. Like, I look at least 5 more losses as this schedule gets real tough for the Steelers. So I think the Ravens end up winning the division. Yeah, so Derrick Henry, despite him playing for the division rival, I can't hate the guy. I don't dislike Lamar Jackson either. I dislike that he's so good at football. But like, I want to see Derrick Henry break all kinds of records, man. The way that he does business, the way that he takes care of himself, the way that he plays, he never gives up. I wish that we had a team full of people, not even with the ability of Derrick Henry, but the attitude, performance of Derrick Henry. As here we go. And this is something we're going to be talking about an awful lot tonight. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to get absolutely diced over the middle with routes. Now, this one goes a little bit more towards the sidelines. But last week, it felt like there were 2 throws along the sideline. But as they drag over the middle of the field, the Cincinnati Bengals cannot hang with tight ends. Think about that. Corners cannot hang with the big goofy ass white guys in the NFL. Tight ends routinely just leave Cincinnati Bengals corners in the dust on routes. And listen, I had a bunch of people giving me crap. Falcons are 6. My God, they are 6-3. My God, you're right. But so okay, yeah. Listen, some of their wins are better than I gave them credit for. I got to give the Steelers credit there, as we're about to get diced over the middle again. Here we go. Give Lamar all the time in the world. Guess what happens? Guess what happens? He runs for a first down. They At some point, spy the QB because this happens all the time. The Bengals act like they don't know that the quarterback's allowed to run the ball. Insane. So yeah, the Steelers went. They got that good win over. Okay, the Falcons, Broncos, an okay win. Chargers, an okay win. Colts, eh. I think they're pretenders. Sorry, I think they're pretenders. So Lamar Jackson. Oh boy, here we go. Please be a hold. Please be a hold. Jermaine Pratt. Too many men on the field. Now, those are the errors that the Bengals have not been making this year. They have not had stuff like that happen throughout this year. As they show Lou Anarumo, who absolutely sucks. He was a Jesse Bates merchant. Here we go, right over the middle, just like I said. And they can't tackle a man. 4 took 4 defenders before anybody caught him. Zay Flowers just juked the entire Bengals team out of their ACLs. They just made Zay Flowers look like Peter Warwick at FSU. No ligaments left in the knee. Bam, there's Cam Taylor Britt. There goes Pratt. There's Gaither. Oh boy. This is what's going to happen with the Cincinnati Bengals throughout the duration of this game. Going to take a brief absence during this commercial break. Well, we're back. So here's what you're going to see a lot of tonight. I think you're going to see um, you're going to see Derrick Henry get, a lot of 4, 5, 6 yard runs. I don't think you're going to see a ton of explosive runs. I really don't. You're going to see Lamar Jackson get an awful lot more time to throw the ball than he should. And then you're going to see a whole lot of Cincinnati Bengals refuse to commit to going after him. And this is the issue with every quarterback that can run a little bit. The Bengals will not commit to going after him behind the line of scrimmage. They will not, because then they think he's going to throw the ball. But if you don't commit to that and your corners give up on plays, which they do a lot, the Bengals in general give up on a lot of plays, poorly coached. You saw it with Alex Kappa earlier. You see it with corners all the time on the Bengals. You see the Cincinnati Bengals operate on the assumption that somebody else is going to do the job for them. And what we have seen is that won't happen. So what you'll see is Lamar Jackson pick up a lot of yards on the ground because the Bengals refuse to go after him in an aggressive manner. Like Lamar Jackson's incredible. It is baffling to me that not only did every team pass on him in the draft one time, but also every team passed up on trading him. And there's the big Derrick Henry run right there. But I don't think you're going to see as many of those. They do a pretty good job of controlling him until that one big explosive run. Yeah, Lou Anarumo is a Jesse Bates merchant, and ever since Jesse Bates left, when the Bengals should have kept him, because that is the type of player that you draft for. That's the type of player you want is a Jesse Bates. Well, Lou Anarumo has been exposed, and look, Bengals hold Derrick Henry pretty well. I was very satisfied with how the Bengals performed against Derrick Henry specifically in that game until the end. But as long as it's not against the Bengals, now that after this week, I hope Derrick Henry rushes for 2,000 yards this year. I love the guy. I think he's incredible. And listen, if the Bengals were to do a 1-to-1 trade with anybody, the only two other quarterbacks I would want in the NFL are Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. If you gave me anybody else, yeah, maybe Jaden after first down. Maybe Jaden based on how he's played. But I hate it that every other team, well, besides the Vikings, are better at screens than the Bengals, and the Bengals do them so much. That was just a good play. Well executed. Bengals got there where they could. Can't be mad about that one. They did what they could, but Ravens are about to put up 7. What about Josh Allen? No, I think he's having a phenomenal year. Look at that. Look at how easy that was. What did I say? This is going to happen all game long because the Bengals secondary sucks. They are so bad. And the fact that the Bengals did not go out and make a trade for anybody in the secondary is criminal. Look, just watch this guy around the right side. Immediately his assignment leaves him. Nobody's covering him. And look, Lamar's incredible. He showed run. He made it look like he was going to run that in. But guess what you don't do against an elite quarterback? You don't assume he's going to run and leave your assignment and leave a guy wide open. Man. So what about Josh Allen? I think Josh Allen's having an amazing year this year. Like, listen, I wouldn't want 2024 Patrick Mahomes unless he looks like the last game that he played. He played great there. But Josh Allen, man, he turned the ball over an awful lot prior to this year. A concerning and alarming amount. Now, if we're talking like 2024 Josh Allen and we can count on that performance, well then yeah, I would feel okay with that. But yeah. No, somebody says no one could sign Lamar. Baltimore had right to match. No, no, no. I meant when like it was pretty clear that Lamar wanted traded at one point, which I wish he would have got traded out of the division. I don't like having to face him. He's incredible. King of the North says Mahomes is going to get himself into that MVP conversation in the back half of the year. If he does, it's a sham. If Patrick Mahomes gets himself in the MVP conversation, it's a sham, and I'll tell you why. He is having by far the worst year of his career, and the Chiefs are still 8-0. So what that shows is he the most talented quarterback I've ever seen? It's him or Brady, one or the other, most talented I've ever seen. However, this year, he has not been the most valuable to his team's success. At times, they have succeeded in spite of him. And that's not saying he's not good. It's just this year, he has performed so far below expectations as an individual player. Now, man's a winner objectively. Dude wins. But I don't think that he should be put in that position. I think that by now, at this point in the season, 8 games in, I feel that he should have probably removed himself from the MVP talks as a result of that. Josh Allen, certainly. Jaden Daniels, certainly. Especially where you see when you see where they were last year. King of the North says he's playing without his wide receiver 1, RB1. Hollywood couldn't get out of the season. Juju gone. Kareem off the couch. Yeah, yep. And they're still gonna roll in with the number 1 seed. That's just the way it works, man. All right, let's see what the Bengals can do. This is exactly what I didn't want to happen. If the Bengals went up 14 nothing, which I don't know if they've done at all this season, I would have honestly felt pretty good about this game. But if it's within 7 points, I don't feel great. I feel great about it. Yeah, he did look great playing with Hopkins. And anybody that thought Hopkins was washed didn't watch Hopkins. They didn't watch. Okay, they're calling an audible at the line about the blitz. See that? So ridiculous. Immediately, Khalil Herbert, who I added to my fantasy team because I was so desperate for a running back, fumbles immediately. And that is all Khalil Herbert. Do not run the ball right now. Oh, throw it, Joe. What are you? Joe Burrow has had some of the worst throws I've seen of his all season. Nowhere in the vicinity of receivers. This is by far the worst I've seen him play this year. You know, incredible that he got free there. But Jamar's wide open there. He is not putting the ball near receivers. 3rd and 11. What are we doing? 3rd and 11, and what do? A line of scrimmage pass to a guy who should barely be on the practice squad right now. Almost made it a first down. This is what the Bengals do a lot, and Burrow is just as responsible for this. A lot of plays like that that aren't going to get it done, and I got to give Tanner Hudson a lot of credit there. He made that competitive. He almost made that a thing, and it's 3 now. Thoughts on Kyler Murray? He is my fantasy quarterback in one of my leagues. Oh man, I don't like it, sir. I don't like it. This is where I see the game tipping away from the Bengals. And listen, the Ravens will go 2 for 1. They absolutely will after deferring. Mm. I've watched too many Bengals games, and it's like I know the way that a Bengals game is going to go in my head. Yeah. Mm, man. King of the North says cheering for the Bengals loss because they don't wanna see Burrow in the playoffs as a Chiefs fan. I feel very confident in the Bengals anytime they play the Chiefs, but, um, I am not of the like, some people will be like, "Oh, they're still putting over the Bengals because of wins a few years ago." I disagree with that. The Bengals were gonna make it to the playoffs last year if Joe Burrow didn't get hurt. Um, the Bengals should have beat the Patriots. I think they should have beaten the Chiefs as well. I think if Tanner Hudson didn't fumble that ball and if the ridiculous, no ball in the area EPI wasn't called, the Bengals would be sitting at 6 wins right now, and we'd be talking, "Oh, boy, false start, let's go." We're talking about a much different thing, but this defense is so stinky, bro. Like, it is so bad. Defense is horrible. You're about to watch Lamar Jackson go into his own territory very easily, even with the false start. There you go, probably right over the mid no, screen pass. Listen, Bengals play those pretty well. I mean, listen, if the Bengals don't play screen passes really well, what are they doing? Because I know they get a good look at them in practice because it's all the Bengals ran for a year and a half. A screen pass, screen pass, line of scrimmage, all that. Let's check it down, blah, blah, blah. They better be able to blow something like that up. So shout out to Cam Taylor Britt wrapping up Zay Flowers there. That's what you want to see out of Cam Taylor Britt. Cam Taylor Britt has to do something to keep this team relevant. If he can't perform, the Bengals are gonna be very, very bad, and they're just gonna try to chip away at it. Of course, good for them. Alright, well, you know they're gonna throw the ball here. If I were a wagering betting man, and I am, I would say that the what happens is, Lamar Jackson ends up getting a lot of time, runs out of the pocket, and ends up either throwing for a first down or running for a first down, despite it being 3rd and 15. Or I would wager that he goes right over the middle. The Bengals fail to tackle, even though they've got like what, 6 high, 5 wide, and they can't make the tackle. And they did it. Oh my god. Wins the parade. 2 punts? 2 punts? I'll throw the parade myself. You'll see me on a float. I'll be the conductor. Is that what they call him? What do they call? The grand marshal. I'll be the grand marshal, by God. That's me. 2 punts the Bengals forced against the Ravens? Woo. Now the one you need is after the half. That's the one you need. Trent Irwin, and Trent Irwin goes full Charlie Jones. So, let me tell you, somebody says you sound like a Leafs fan planning parades. I am a Leafs fan. I am a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Pardon me. You hear me cough here and there. Got allergy-induced asthma. My bad, y'all. So, if there's one thing that frustrates me about Bengals return men, and, maybe I was spoiled with Pac-Man Jones, who could do some incredible things. I saw it with Trent Taylor, and now I see it a lot with Charlie Jones, and I just saw it with Trenton Irwin. Instead of just running forward and getting that extra 2 or 3, I see these guys run backwards a yard and a half, do a cartwheel, do a spin move, shoot, do the Axel Foley shoulder roll, Cupid shuffle, do the wobble, anything but pick up a yard or 2, and they always end up losing a yard or 2. Alright, they're in the shotgun here. Eagles just haven't been able to get a lot going, man, and I think some of that's on Joe. What is there we go. Listen, Chase Brown is gonna keep getting you yardage on the ground, keep going to Chase Brown if the pass game isn't working. Pretty soon, they're gonna have to put more attention on Chase Brown, and then hopefully that opens up the pass game, hopefully. Oh, no! What, 3 deflections tonight on Burrow? He's not playing good at all. Hamilton played that phenomenally. He played that incredibly. Can't be mad about that. Joe Burrow doesn't see that guy, looking him straight in the face, square in the eyes, throws it right at him. He's lucky it wasn't a big six, especially with a guy that size coming at you. Probably got some speed on him. Oh, boy. Oh! I'd challenge that spot. Tush push, buddy. Go for it. Hell yeah, go for it. Listen, I if this doesn't work and there's a good chance it won't, they snapped it to Tanner Hudson. Wow! I did not expect. That's what I like to see. They had Tanner Hudson in motion with Joe Burrow lined up, and then they snapped it, and Tanner Hudson pushes it forward on 4th and inches for the first down. That is one of the best play calls I have seen Zach Taylor make ever. Oh, throw the ball. No, don't waft it up there like that. What are you doing? What are you doing right after? Right after I put over Zach Taylor. He does the same thing he's done for years. This screen pass garbage. Not only that, Brown runs behind. Oh, this is so frustrating. The Bengals love to run the screen pass, and they are horrible at it. Horrible at it. Oh my God, Tanner Hudson. You what are we doing? That was a drop. They're blowing it. They're blowing it right now. You have forced 2 punts on the Baltimore Ravens in the first half. 2 punts. And now what you're doing is leaving them time to score, probably run the clock down, by the way. The Bengals are not getting a first down here. They'll be lucky if Burrow isn't sacked. Yep, throw the ball away, buddy. Ridiculous. This is one of the worst games I have seen Joe Burrow play since probably week 1 a few years ago when he threw all 6 in the first half. This has been abysmal. Poor decision making. The offensive line is bad. The listen, he fumbled again. Man can't hold on to the ball this year. This has been the Bengals' year in a nutshell. The defense has played really, really good. The offense can't play in unison with him. The Bengals defense and the Bengals offense rarely play well together. They just don't. I think that in an hour, I'm looking at you guys and I'm seeing a 21-7 game. Mm. Have faith, Sean. It will be okay. I am a Bengal. You want me to? Okay, I'll show you what faith means as a Bengals fan. Come on. So I don't like to brag about money, what I have, what I don't have, anything like that. But I have always wanted to be a Cincinnati Bengals season ticket holder. Year of the Super Bowl, I got myself on the wait list. Last year, I became a season ticket holder member. Here's a fun fact: the year before I joined, the season ticket holder gift was a replica ring, AFC Championship ring. Pretty cool, right? They tell us that right before they say, "Oh, hey, by the way, this year's is a blanket." It's like one of those little thin airline blankets. And you get 1 per 2 seats. This year, do you know what our season ticket holder gift was? A decal. Oh, but I got 2 of them, so, a decal. Here, I can slap it right on the side of this helmet here. I don't know if it's a decal or if it's a sticker. I bet it's a sticker. It's pretty much a sticker. Decal implies that you could take it off and put it back onto something. That thing's a sticker. It's filth is what that is, guys. After telling us, well, it was AFC Championship rings. Well, listen, I get it. We ain't gonna get a replica of Jake Brown. We're gonna get a statue of Jake Browning keeping us in the season or anything. But filthy. Decals, buddy. That's it. Oh, Bengals need a big pick here. What they need. Unfortunately, the guy throwing the football is named Lamar Jackson, and he doesn't do that a lot. Look at that. Bengals stop Derrick Henry. I've been very confident in the defensive line as constructed. Sheldon Rankins, BJ Hill, Chris Jenkins, McKinley Jackson. I think they do very good. Listen, if you can contain Derrick Henry to 3.7 yards a carry, what more can you ask for? Oh boy. I can tell what play's coming here. Right over the middle, tight end, think, caught. Yep. See it coming, man. That's like a go-to on second down against the Bengals. Uh, quick pass over the middle to the tight end. The Bengals just for some reason along the sidelines they do pretty well. They can defend their men and all that stuff, but right over the middle they get diced up. Trey Hendrickson's getting handled right now too. There's like no pressure on Lamar Jackson. Big play for the Bengals right here. Not getting it. Nope, too much time for him. Too much time. Wide open. Oh my god. Was that DJ Turner? Just swiping it. A third punt? Listen, it's a tie. Let's just call it a tie. Stop the count right now. I'm satisfied with the result. The game ends right now. I'm happy. I'm a happy man. Give us the tie. We'll take it. We'll take we'll take 7-7. I think the Ravens got to throw the ball more, by the way. Mm, punted it out of bounds. This is a best case scenario to me. By the way, Bengals right now need to try to wind that clock down. All right. Bengals, let's get a drive going here. Oh, Chase Trips. Great tackle by the Ravens there. Oh, Lamar to the locker room. Well, listen, hope he's all right. What a phenomenal player he is, man. Like, Lamar is so good. There we go. That Gesicki? Of course, it's Gesicki. Getting stuff done, man. Okay, Lamar's back out there. So what the one thing I do like about what I've seen out of Joe Burrow today, a lot of times if he runs towards the line of scrimmage, he's either getting tackled there or he's running the ball, and instead he's gone to throw the ball a little bit more. He's a little less predictable in that sense. Chase Brown, all right. It was the Ravens backup. Did they even dress one? Um, Gosh, I knew who it was. Oh man, it was Josh Johnson. Yeah, because I joked earlier this year that Deshaun Watson was like the 10th best quarterback in the division, and I listed Josh Johnson above him as well, and AJ McCarron whenever he comes back to the Bengals. I'll throw the ball, buddy. Yes. All right. I can't believe Tanner Hudson is getting this many targets. So, for those of you unfamiliar with Tanner Hudson, he was a guy like was very lucky to make the team, I would say. But the way that the Bengals played last year and the year before, it's very frustrating because last year Joe Burrow had the calf issue the first 4 games. I think the Bengals went 1 and 3. They didn't line up under center at all. It was all shotgun stuff. It was very predictable. But the Bengals rarely threw to tight ends. And they have not had spectacular tight ends. CJ Uzama was decent. Hayden Hurst, pretty good. Last year, it was like just throwing some stuff at the wall. That's what it was. This year they drafted and wanted to go high on athleticism. But the general line of thinking for Cincinnati Bengals and tight ends has been, would you like to make $2 million here this year and then $7 million somewhere next year? Well, come on here. And that's what happened with CJ Uzama. He finished out his deal, went elsewhere, disappeared. Hayden Hurst came here. Joe Burrow threw to him, went elsewhere. Unfortunate, career issues. Uh, but Tanner Hudson, I thought for sure. was gonna get an offer somewhere else because he just kinda got placed into this offense, and I felt like the Bengals should have been throwing to tight ends a lot more last year. You can get those it's, it's over the middle, quick routes. Burrow can get the ball to a big target really quickly without having to worry about his calf or whatever, and then, like, midway through the season, they started to do it, and they found great success with it, to the point to where they drafted 2 tight ends, they extended Drew Sample, who's more of a blocker, they added Mike Gesicki, who's a bit of a hybrid tight end wide receiver, and they kept Tanner Hudson. Now, my confidence in Tanner Hudson last year was very high because he delivered every time he needed to. This year, it immediately eroded because there were guys behind him or around him, Gesicki, all I even wanted to see Tanner, but he's not been active for a single game. Um, get those opportunities, and then he literally fumbled game 1 away. But outside of that drop, he has had 2 or 3 really good plays today. This is this is sort of the reclamation project of Tanner Hudson. And the Bengals, I think, have realized I don't know if it's a position you have to invest in, but it's definitely a position you have to put something in at tight end because you're not gonna have 3 receivers where Jamar Chase is a top 3 receiver in the league. T. Higgins is a wide receiver 1 on almost any other team. Tyler Boyd, at one point, was the Bengals wide receiver 1, but was a decent wide receiver 2 for any team until last year. Oh, throw the ball, Joe. Woo! Over the middle, first down, Jamar Chase. But the Bengals moving to utilize tight ends a lot more works great because they had gone to the screen pass so often for those quick passes, and they just didn't work. Joe Burrow operates a lot better throwing beyond the line of scrimmage. And now we're starting to see the Joe Burrow that we need to see right here. Oh, and it looks like thank God they're winding this clock down. I was so concerned about a Ravens 2 for 1 here, and the Ravens are oh, there we go. Chase Brown. Stay in bounds, Chase Brown. Damn it, Chase. Apologies for cursing. Saying that, well, we got a Ravens player down, so that would have been timeout anyway. It was the only thing they asked me to not do. They asked me to not curse in this. I don't think damn's too bad, right? Oh, Hamilton, I just saw that. Oh, no. Oh, no, he twisted his ankle up real bad right there. Oh, that's horrible. I hope he's all right. That is so bad. He's hobbling off the field. Oh, man. Hope Hamilton's okay. And he's that ain't good for the Ravens. And listen, I say I want the Bengals to win in any capacity anyway. I don't want it to be because of injuries. That's what I don't want it to be because oh man, I can't say this many they asked me to not yeah, they asked me to not curse is what somebody said. Yeah, that doesn't count, right? That doesn't count. Oh man. The Bengals have an opportunity to go up and score again. So I'd mentioned the tight end situation. So the Bengals are down. Tyler Boyd left last year. I was fine with that. I wouldn't mind him being back in a veteran role though. T. Higgins is out. That sucks. Yoshi Voss has been hit or miss. Jermaine Burton has been miss, very miss. Jamar Chase has had an incredible year. Chase Brown has really emerged. Zach Moss has not been what the Bengals need. Trent Brown did exactly what so many people warned Bengals fans that Trent Brown would do. Got hurt very early in the year. Hope he'll be all right, but let me tell you, I've never seen a more what on earth 89 Madden rating than Trent Brown in 2024. Let's see what they're saying about. Yeah, it looks like he stepped on Gasecki and then twisted his ankle. Hope it's just a twisted ankle and not something really bad. That's that's gotta be is that offsides? It looked like offsides to me. That looked like clear offsides to me. Yeah. As an SEC fan, Burton is so good and Mim or so bad and Mims is so good. And Mims has been playing really great. Um, now the price they got Trent Brown at, I wasn't like upset or anything. I would rather Amarius Mims play, but you don't have Orlando Brown, that sucks. And they could use depth. I would love to have Trent Brown as depth for sure. Trent Brown did not show up in shape to play. And I think that hurt him. Literally. Oh, what a dumb throw. Why would you throw it into double coverage? This is the Cincinnati Bengals. This is them. And this is Joe Burrow in this game, playing horribly. Let's see this. Oh my God, right into double coverage. Oh, please don't let it be out. Woo! Please call that back. I don't even care if the call's right. His knee didn't touch, but his foot was out of bounds before he got in. So, again, listen, still learning about the foosball. I assume interception rules are the same as catch rules, right? Oh, I will say this: several of Joe Burrow's interceptions have been on uh, plays where the receiver goes the opposite route. This was not that. This was a corner picking up that he was going to throw to Gasecki instead of Jamar Chase. Now, this is massive. Whether or not this play gets called back or not or that's massive. I would go as far as to say this is going to be a game deciding call, but based on what I saw, it shouldn't be an interception because I don't think that the corner was in when he caught the ball. Maybe wishful thinking. I guess we'll see. Woo! Incomplete pass. Good call from the refs. Buddy. I'm sure that's bad audio there. Apologies. Ooh, I'll take that all day. 2nd and 5. Let's heckin' kill. I got a feeling they're still going to turn pressure. Run, Joe. Well, Joe had to take off a little bit earlier than he did. No, let that wind down. Straighten up Joe Burrow's jersey there. Yeah, obviously you want to take that ball or take that time down as much as humanly possible when you've got Lamar Jackson, because I feel like they are one, they're one play away from being in field goal range, regardless of how Justin Tucker has or hasn't been. They got one timeout left, so they're good there. Like I wouldn't hate them even on 3rd and 5th. I would or 3rd and 5. I wouldn't hate them giving the ball to Chase Brown. That way, either he breaks off a 5-yard run for a first down, or they keep the clock going. But also, I don't really trust Bengals offense. Oh, never mind, I'm wrong and I'm dumb. And I am in fact stupid. Call timeout right there. Jermaine Burton finally in. That's what you need Jermaine Burton to do right there. And he was fighting for that extra yardage. Man, I'm brainwashed by the Bengals. I'm like, wave the white flag. Jermaine Burton fought for that one. That's what you want to see out of Jermaine Burton. Catching that one, he was wide open. He did not give up on it. Took 3 guys to get him down. Need a cough button, this bad boy. So I'm moderating this from this computer, but I'm. Oh my God, let's go! Tanner Hudson getting it done, and Joe Burrow just marches off the field. Let's go. Tanner Hudson's getting it done. Tanner Hudson earning my trust at least. Now we just got to make sure that Evan McPherson makes this extra point. So the Ravens have no timeout. I wonder if they'll just take a knee. I wouldn't if I were them. You just got to try. If you got Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers on your team, all right, you got to at least throw something up, man. Got to at least throw something up. I got to admit, this is best case scenario for this Bengals defense. This game. What we have seen, I expected the Ravens to have scored 21 by now. I fully did. Tanner Hudson, man. So Tanner Hudson's getting a lot of these reps because Eric All Jr., who the Bengals drafted this year, as a high upside, very athletic pick who didn't play a ton in college. He got hurt. He's out for the year, unfortunately. That sucks. Same knee towards ACL on prior. So as Gesicki takes a lot more reps as a receiver, Tanner Hudson slides in at that tight end position. And Drew Sample, the guy that they gave an extension to, is not getting as much playing time. I will take a brief break during halftime, guys. I'll have a static image up, and then we'll be back. We'll be back. I don't know how long DraftKings even wants me to do this. They said virtually whenever I wanted throughout this game, but Heck. Yeah, to me, if you've got Lamar Jackson, you take a few shots, especially if you're starting from the 30-yard line. Lamar Jackson with 30 seconds can do exactly what he's doing. Throw it along the sidelines, pick up 5, pick up 6. Would not shock me to see the Ravens end up with a field goal here because they're playing for the field goal, and the Bengals, they get complacent. Would you finish streaming on Common Bengals W if they want you to stop soon? I don't think they're gonna ask me to stop. They said pretty much I could as long as I wanted, but, no, whenever I mean, if it's midway through the game, I'll keep streaming on Common Bengals W. And there we go again. No flag, flag. All right, no flag. Rumo, if the Bengals hold the Ravens to 21 points, Lou Anarumo might have saved his job at the end of the year because we've had some okay performances. It's just the offense rarely plays in unison with the defense. It's a very frustrating thing to watch. It certainly is. Bengals have gotten of late. We'll see how they handle this one. Not good, as I mentioned, so frustrating. Hopefully that's a hold. Please be a hold. Yes. Oh no! I think the Ravens are going to pick up 3 here. I really do. I think they're going to find okay together. Oh yes, inbounds, Mike Hilton, baby, into the half. Sorry, bro. Mike Hilton, the leader, even in my opinion, even more than Trey Hendricks. Maybe that's ambitious of me to say. Mike Hilton is such a leader. Bengals go into the half 14-7. This is a best case scenario right now. Absolute best case scenario. I'm going to take a brief break and we'll be back. And we're back. Banner off of here. Let's get all this stuff off of here. Okay. Man. Joseph Bosa mentions first half stats. Bengals 196 yards of offense, Ravens 103. Wait, is this live? So listen, I know I missed the first few minutes and a half. Had to handle some business, me style. Uh, how are you liking prime coverage? So now Michaels ain't what it used to be, buddy. The Bengals have forced another punt. What? What? I just didn't expect this. I really didn't expect this. And I'll be honest with you, if you would have told me that the Bengals forced 4 punts in the entire game, I would say that the Bengals would have won. Like, if you would have told me this before, I'd be like, "Well, the Bengals are winning that football game." Offense has played just so complacent. The Bengals have avoided the 2 for 1. Ooh, good amount of time there. Jamar Chase! Jamar Chase! Oh, he's gone! He's gone! No flags! Let's go! Pay the man! Pay the I can find any negative and a positive. Why didn't you pay this man in August? What's wrong with you, Mike Brown? He's going to be so much more expensive now. Oh, from the aerial view. So this is what I like. I like this aerial view. Bam, 1 defender, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the great block. Is that Yoshi blocking? Number 80. Let's go. Ready for McPherson to miss this extra point. I can't have anything nice. He made it. What? Hit the gritty. Listen, if I knew how, I would. If I knew how, I would. What a play. Jamar Chase is so good. And look, Jamar Chase is doing this without T. Higgins. Brothers. Damn, spicy nacho chicken Subway, huh? Dang, that's that jam. That's that jam. If somebody asked me if I'm gonna wrestle anymore. Um, Not that anybody watching this would care besides the one person that asked, but, um, I got asked to do a match that would have been next week, and I just didn't feel like it. I haven't been feeling good physically since the effing match. Didn't quite take care of myself after, lost my grandmother, so I need to if I ever wanna do that again, I need to treat my body much better. So I'm gonna take care of some stuff, and, there's still a few matches I wouldn't mind doing. I'd love to team with Vinny Pacifico. I wouldn't mind doing a blood sports style match. I wouldn't mind teaming with my good friend Ali Cease and even doing a match with her. I just don't and I already got people that are like, "What? You always wrestle girls?" I've had 1 match, 1 singles match against a woman ever, but I don't want to become like that. I don't wanna be the Andy Kaufman gimmick, but, I'll do any rumble. Like, if somebody called and asked me to do a rumble tomorrow, I'll do it, but, um, I'm not capable of the things I was, like, even, like, when I wrestled fairly regularly 10 years ago, 8, 9, 10 years ago. Um, so I don't want to I mean, listen, some people say, that it's an embarrassment no matter what, right? Because some people don't like me, but I don't wanna do anything that is, quote, unquote, "embarrassing," and I think that so far that I think my selling could be better, but, or could be better, should be better. But I think the offense has been alright. The moves, the bumps have been okay. but I'm just not feeling it physically right now. I'll still go train though once I get healed up from some stuff. Let's see, where is I'm trying to retweet my stream. How many of you are here watching on the DraftKings channel? Which, by the way, they hit me up because I do have a Bengals podcast. It is not a day job situation like kickoff. Oh, Spring coming over the middle. But I do a Bengals show called Common Bengals W. It is one of my it is my biggest love besides wrestling is football. I love football. And I just do it for fun. I don't do it like as a day job. Don't have sponsors, anything like that. But you can go to commonbengalsw.com, which redirects you to the Common Bengals W on YouTube. And yeah, we have fun. I don't know. I didn't start learning about football until I was in the. I like always at least had an eye on it as a Bengals fan through Messiah days, Jeff Blake, all that stuff, Carson Palmer. Watched it in the 2000s, but really started to love and appreciate football. Honestly, the year that they brought in T.O. and had him with Ochocinco and Carson Palmer, but when Andy Dalton and A.J. Green got drafted, I really fell in love with football. I really, really did. And over the past 4 years, it's become my favorite sport. Like, I think before you could probably say it was MMA. That is Derrick Henry again. If the Bengals can get another punt here, listen, I won't know what to do with myself. But yeah, still learning plenty about football. But man, do I love it. I love nothing more than Cincinnati Bengals football. Truly. And now, listen, I also love pro wrestling. Pro wrestling's work. And it's work that I love. I'm very fortunate to be in my position. Oh, please get that sack. Oh, my God. Oh. Trey was so close. That could be a game-changing play right there. Oh, he's got to lean into it. So Trey hasn't been able to finish some of those. If Trey would have pursued that a little bit more, here I am telling Trey Henderson how to land sacks. If Trey would have pursued that more and not went for broke right there, which it's hard to do against him, right? Nope, they blew that screenplay up. How did McKinley Jackson track him down? McKinley Jackson ran off the line, went and got Zay Flowers and tackled him there. Yeah, Lamar's really hard to get down. So it's easy for me to say, well, he should have pursued that more because you don't know. All right, 5-yard penalty. I'll take that. Because if you don't do what Trey Hendrickson did, well, you just don't know what way Lamar Jackson's going to cut and what Lamar Jackson will do. I mean this sincerely. I would rather play Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback, but I would rather play the Ravens as a team. You know what I mean? Like, I fear Lamar Jackson much more as a quarterback than Patrick Mahomes, but the Chiefs, are the team. Come on, get to him. Almost finished that sack. I sound like Dave Lapham. Y'all don't know who he is. He was a Cincinnati Bengals on the O-line. When I first started to really fall in love with football, I was like, man, this guy who's calling the game is like, yeah, go. It's so endearing and I love it. He does like the locker room interviews on the radio. So whenever I'm leaving the games, I hear this guy who played on the offensive line and his show's called In the Trenches. Pretty good, great name. But like he's just roaming around the locker room getting live interviews, and the respect that those guys have for him. Oh, there you go. So the respect they have for him, he can get a chat with anybody. It was so funny last week. He was trying to track down Mike Gesicki, and he's like, "Oh, here we go. Well, in the meantime, we've got Joe Burrow," which is so funny that that's just like the guy. Another Bengals broadcaster that actually influenced me before I even knew where he came from is Wayne Foxmiller, and his show is called The Locker Room Report. That's why we call our Fightful exclusive news and Q&A show Fightful Report, and it's in the Backstage Report, as the Ravens are about to get a first down here, I bet. Come on. If they give up a first down here, another punt. But Wayne Foxmiller's team or our show is the Locker Room Report. Our show is the Fightful Report, Backstage Report. That is completely inspired by Wayne Foxmiller. And I find out, like in the last year, Wayne Boxmiller is from Maysville, Kentucky. Well, I am from Maysville, Kentucky. Born at Maysville Hospital. Then I find out Wayne Boxmiller went to Morehead State University. I went to Morehead State University. I actually didn't finish school there. I left to help launch Fightful. So that made me feel really good. Warmed my heart a little bit. As Trent Irwin does exactly what I just complained about. And there's a flag, so they're probably going to eat a couple more yards on that one. 5 punts, man. Who we got here live in the chat listening to me rant? And how do you think I'm doing? Be honest. How do you think I'm doing so far? I have never done something like this, much less for football. I don't think I have. I think maybe I did once for wrestling. Receiving team, go figure. Just got a message from a WWE name. Oh my gosh. Nicholas says, not getting too confident yet. Lamar and Henry are that good. Yes, and the Bengals collapsed with regularity. We got there. Hudson again. Oh, no. Chase Brown has got to catch that. That's a first down if Chase Brown catches that. So there have been a couple of really rough drops in this game as well. Now Burrow has fought back to 19 and 32, or 19 of 32. But there have been like two really rough drops. This has been probably the Bengals' worst drive so far. As I said, 3rd and 6, but still, like, unless Rico can just absolutely destroy a punt and like flip the field, yeah, I don't feel good about this drive. The penalty on the kick, the first play was fine. Oh, there we go. Tanner Hudson's doing it again. I don't know what gave them the confidence in Tanner Hudson that they have gained today. But he's doing the damn thing. Well, everybody's got their eye on Jamar Chase and likely Mike Gesicki. Tanner Hudson's getting it done. And Tanner Hudson did gain the trust of Joe Burrow and Jake Browning last year, especially Jake Browning. There we go. Good run from Chase Brown. Gotta say, I'm pretty satisfied about that. So on this stream, I have yet to talk about Joe Mixon. Ugh. Joe Mixon, first off, I'm thrilled he's having a great year in Houston, but I knew the talking point that would emerge from that. People are like, well, I bet you still wish you had Joe Mixon. No, I don't, man. I like, on the field and as a team leader and teammate what Joe Mixon did. There was a lot of off the field stuff even before he got drafted. There were plenty in the last couple of years that were like, "Yeesh, here we go, Chase Brown." God Almighty! And this is when I miss Joe Mixon because Joe Mixon does not fumble the ball. That that will be the most important play of this game. Mark my words, because the Ravens are about to score 7 points. Look me in my eyes. The Ravens are about to score 7 points. The Ravens are about to come back and beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And it will come down to that play by Humphrey, that fumble right there. This is when I miss Joe Mixon, and this is the only time I miss Joe Mixon, is when it comes to holding on to football. Joe Mixon, yards after contact last year was really bad. He'd get hit, he'd fall over. This year, better scheme, just way better. But he doesn't fumble the football. This is brutal, man. This is gonna suck. And what I tell you, the Bengals momentum changes and they get deflated. Bengals have already lost 6 fumbles this year. Last year they lost 2. the whole year. The whole year. Mm, don't like that at all. Boy, if that isn't indicative of the Cincinnati Bengals as a franchise and this season, that the Bengals are up by 2 touchdowns, and, I feel this confident that the Ravens are gonna come back and win this football game. What does that tell you about how inconsistently the Bengals play? And here we go. Don't give up on the play. Force him out. That was one of the most embarrassing defensive plays I have ever seen from the Cincinnati Bengals. And Lamar is incredible, but you have seen Lamar Jackson do crazy stuff right there. You never assume he's out of bounds. How do you let that happen? How do you allow that to happen? And there is the 7 points that I told you were coming. And let me tell you, there's about to be 7 more that follow that, and the Ravens are gonna tie it up at 21. The Bengals should be on their way, en route to 3 scores up right now, had Chase Brown not fumbled that ball. Now we are looking at the Ravens probably getting a stop here and coming right back up the field and tying the game, because this is how momentum works with the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is what I deal with as a Bengals fan. Oh, brother. Nicholas McClymont says Ravens are winning this, I think. Me too, buddy. Me too. Ugh. The scouting and preparation that the Bengals get is so bad. You do not assume anything with Lamar Jackson. You go where he is. That's all you can do. You can't assume things with him. That's how you end up getting a run like that. That's how you end up getting that crazy throw that he had earlier in the season. Derrick Henry is tough to tackle, but Lamar Jackson is not that tough to tackle. He's very tough to tackle. He's an incredible player. I've said it all day, but he ain't that tough to tackle. 3 guys in the backfield have him cornered. That's the difference between Lamar Jackson and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals give up on plays. Lamar Jackson never gives up on a play, even if the rest of his team does. Not saying they do. He doesn't. Here we go. I can tell you right now what's going to happen here. Backwards 2 more yards. Thanks. Um, the Ravens are going to utilize this momentum and get a stop here. How is that Marlon Humphrey hit allowed? Jesus. But um, Baltimore Ravens have an awful lot of momentum right now, and they are going to carry that right now. Yeah, that as I saw that Joe Burrow hit, that should have been roughing the passer. Big time, big time. And I'm not really one that cares much about that penalty, but that should have been roughing the passer. That's an easy call. It didn't get called. Yeah, and that's the thing. This crowd is just lit up now. They were deflated. They felt defeated. All right, Jamar. But and look, there's a couple times I thought that Joe was gonna take off. As I mentioned earlier, he doesn't typically throw the ball running forward a lot. It's usually lateral movement, not necessarily moving backwards. Usually it's moving to his right, not to his left that much based on what I see. But now we've seen him moving towards the line of scrimmage, running and throwing the ball, which is nice. And Chase Brown runs and falls over in 2 yards. Paul says the Bengals are gonna beat the Ravens. Brother, I hope so. Oh, sad that, the Bengals are up a score. They've got the ball, and I don't feel good about this game at all. God, screen pass BS, man. 3rd and 2. I would consider running it here. They never do on, like, 3rd and 2. Mm. And the Ravens have it scouted. And he makes some magic there. He rolls out to his right, completes to Jamar Chase. I like it. Am I from Cincinnati? Here's the way that I try to explain it to people. First off, I live in Lexington, Kentucky right now. Cincinnati is a little over an hour away. The way that I would explain to people where I lived before 2022 was that I was equally inconvenient in distance from Lexington and Cincinnati. I was like an hour-ish away from each one. All right, let's put the ball on the ground here and then or don't. Well, they put the ball on the ground because Joe Burrow got sacked. That's the end of the quarter, and that's gonna be a drive killer. 4th quarter. Ah, I don't feel good about it, guys. Not at all. Yeesh. Julian Edelman looking like Fandango. So, man, Joe Burrow's been sacked 3 times. Ugh. All 3. God, by Namdi. And, big shocker, Bengals have not tackled, Lamar Jackson at all. Not at all. And he's 14 or 20. If I were them, I would be going to the air a lot more, a lot more. Joe Burrow, 2 fumbles, Chase Brown, a fumble. Listen, how is that one on Joe Burrow and not Khalil Herbert? That was the Khalil Herbert fumble, buddy. That was. 2nd and 16. Another sack. If I swear. Jeez. Well, they just got to pick up yardage here and hopefully get a field goal. Oh, well. So I just want to say that is a thing that happened with Joe Burrow a lot up until this year. Joe Burrow would get sacked just out of Evan McPherson's field goal range, and it was really frustrating, made it very difficult on him. And up until this year, it wasn't really that much of a problem. He'd still make the field goals by and large, but now it's brutal. And there's Joe again. Oh, and this is where it happens. It's where it happens every time, guys. Score is going to be 21-20. You know it in my heart of hearts. This, is a massive potential stop. As you can tell, I am far less excited when the Bengals are put in these situations where they absolutely have to make stops or make plays because I've just witnessed so much of it, and there you go. There you go. Horrible corner play. Surely he didn't stay in bounds. Surely not. Y'all are gonna see me rage quit. This is exactly what I expected to happen, guys. This is exactly what how about a yeah, he stayed in bounds. The Cincinnati Bengals secondary sucks so bad. This team sucks, man. This defense sucks. Man, I sat here and looked at you guys. Rewind the tape. Come on. The heel does look like it's out there. But Maxwell says, I was wondering why you were being so Oh, he missed the extra point. Thank God. I was wondering why you're being so negative, but you called it. I have watched this happen so many times this year with this team. Even though the Ravens are down 1 point right now, the Ravens are in the driver's seat. And this is exactly what I've said over and over again. The Bengals give up on plays. And you just saw it on 2 consecutive drives. This one resulting in a touchdown, the last one resulting in Lamar Jackson getting all the way up to the one when it should have been a sack. Man, at least this makes me look like a soothsayer. It makes me look like I know what I'm talking about a little bit, but I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy that I knew that my favorite team would just absolutely crap it. I'm not happy about that. They don't play through the whistle, man. They don't play through the whistle. And, like, I don't you can't coach somebody to play through the whistle. Either they want to or they don't, and the Bengals don't. Ugh, I'm so sick of this Wingstop commercial. The no flex zone one, I see it like a million times a week on Raw. The Bengals have to score here, have to score here, and they need to score a touchdown here. Again, Geno Stone and Logan Wilson giving up on the play. Geno Stone was supposed to be the guy that stepped in 7 picks last year, most on terrible throws, and he just got embarrassed by his old team. Like, we're going to look at this Bengals season. We're going to look at this Cincinnati Bengals season, and 3 fumbles will be probably the difference in the Bengals making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. The Tanner Hudson fumble week 1 absolutely cost the Bengals the game, 100%. Joe Burrow fumble against the Chiefs cost the Bengals the game. The Chase Brown fumble today is likely going to cost the Bengals the game. Throw the ball, check down. Can't win when you pay like. Who is Cam Grandy, and why is he in a football game against the Baltimore Ravens? Well, guess what? When you play like a coward, you get coward results, and that's what this play calling is. Good for Brown getting that. Bengals had to have that. David's absolutely right. They were playing two-hand touch defense, and that's why the Ravens scored, because the Ravens don't play two-hand touch anything. We saw Humphrey come across and drill Joe Burrow. Meanwhile, Bengals can't get a hand on Lamar Jackson. They can't catch him. What do you think the ceiling is for the Bengals as long as Zach Taylor's the head coach? Now, probably winning a wild card game now. Years ago, where people had him figured out. I feel like they could and should have won the Super Bowl. I mean, there is a 2.5-year period where the Cincinnati Bengals were a play away from winning all but 1 or 2 games in 2.5 seasons. So I do like much more than I like Mixon, even though Mixon was much more sure-handed than Chase Brown. Chase Brown has done well with the dump offs this year. But man, that fumble. Oh. And I don't feel comfortable with Evan McPherson at this range anymore either. And they're going to blitz. They're going to pressure. No. Joe Burrow has had some of the worst throws I've ever seen from him in this game. Like ones that as soon as they leave his hands, you know they're not going to come anywhere near a receiver. And that was that. If the Bengals don't convert this 4th down, they are going to lose this football game. Another prediction from your boy right here. Not a prediction, it's a prophecy. That's a long 2 yards. Why are they doing that? They trying to draw them off sides? Nope, they're going for it. Why? Why? What a stupid play call to a rookie who didn't show up to walkthroughs 5 days ago. What a dumb play call. You go up the guy, oh my God, up the sideline to the rookie who didn't show up to walkthroughs on Saturday. Man, this is frustrating. This is the Cincinnati Bengals season, man. This is the way it's went all year. Oh, brother. Friends, I'll BRB. Well, I come back to a 1st and 10, and here come the Ravens to win the game. I'm not going to be a very entertaining watch through the duration of this game because I know how it goes. Bengals can't tackle. Oh my gosh, they got one. So here's another prediction for me. Not only are the Ravens going to win, if the Bengals want to win, I think the Bengals have to get a turnover, not a turnover on downs. I think they need to get a big turnover. And I am not confident that the Bengals are able to do that. The Bengals especially struggle within 3 points. I think I looked it up, and Bengals are like 9 for 27 or something in 3-point games under Zach Taylor. It's like really, really bad. I'm glad they got Hill down. Let's see. Yeah. Zach Taylor is 9 for 29 as of October 13th in games under. Let me see if that has changed. And 9 for 35 if you include preseason, which, a lot of people wouldn't, obviously. But to me, if you've never won a preseason game within 3 points, oh, there we go. What'd I tell you? I knew this was going to happen. And the Bengals relinquished the lead. JoJo said, see what y'all are saying about Zach Taylor, questionable coach. How does one get that open? Well, David Gardner, I'll tell you how one gets that open. First off, you play the Cincinnati Bengals, who cannot guard. You're going for the 2-point try because why wouldn't they, right? I just feel so dejected watching this game, knowing that the Bengals should have won this game. Well, it's got to be 4-down territory for the Bengals here. You got to go up and score because right now, I do not believe that the Bengals defense can stop the Ravens. I used to think momentum was a myth. And then I watched the Cincinnati Bengals and I realized how much momentum drags them out of the game, how Joe Burrow's demeanor changes, how lazy the defense gets, how dejected the offense gets. There's the Boza says the difference in the game is that extra missed extra point. Well, not now because they just got a 2-point conversion. So the Bengals can only try to tie it up here. Mm. Can't wait until the Bengals play the Steelers. Bengals are going to beat the Steelers, buddy. Hate to tell you that, but the Bengals will beat the Steelers. The Bengals are going to win against the Steelers. I feel very confident about that. Well, this drive may determine whether or not I finish this game out on stream or if I go and hit the gym. Got to be 4-down territory for the Bengals here, even with 5:50 left, because listen, you can get Derrick Henry and just go first down, first down, first down. And the Ravens are going to have the last crack at winning. Well, Bengals were up 21-7, and I looked at you guys and I said the Cincinnati Bengals are going to lose this football game. And unfortunately for me, I was right. Lamar Jackson plays the Bengals so well. Lamar Jackson wins against the Bengals. The Steelers are confusingly okay this season. Well, it's going to be really confusing when the Bengals beat them on December 1st. Mark it down. Oh my God. So that was pretty incredible. That is literally all I could ask for. I have no notes on that. If I were Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Zach Taylor, I would simply do that every time. I don't know what more I can say about that besides, well, first off, let's make sure Evan McPherson makes this kick before I, flip out because he ain't good this year. And we've just seen Justin Tucker miss one. All right, cool. So let's watch that one. So he bombs that. He sees Jamar Chase running past, and he knows Jamar Chase is gone. I do find it very hilarious that Jamar Chase stood at the 1 yard line. I find that very funny. How long did he sit there? So what Jamar Chase likely just showed his entire team is don't give up on plays. Look what the Ravens did there. That's what we can't do. Well, Jamar Chase is incredible. In what has seen some of Joe Burrow's, quite frankly, worst throws I've ever seen, he has 390 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase has 238 yards and 2 touchdowns. The defense needs a big stop here. I bet you I'm playing Jamar Chase in fantasy this week. Bet you anything. Let's see. Oh, thank God. No, but I started Khalil Herbert. Oh, they can't finish the sack. They can't finish the sack, and what happens? A pick! Nope. Ah! Nothing you can do about that. He did everything that he could, but that is an incomplete pass. Hmm. So, if you remember, I said that the Bengals needed a turnover in order to win this game. I still believe that. I feel like that would have been the turnover that won the Cincinnati Bengals this game. Yeah, it was a very clear incomplete pass. I mean, good on Cam Taylor-Britt. Phenomenal play. But it's what you like to see. But also, why you don't go run up and down the field until you know what the play is. I don't want you to be exhausted for the next play. Bengals can't finish a sack on Lamar Jackson. They need a big stop here. A big stop. Yeah, guys, I was shocked by that near interception. How is the O-line? Not wonderful, but, considering that Joe Burrow used to get sacked 7, 8 times a game, much better. And here comes the pass right over the middle. Right over the middle where the Bengals get sliced and diced every single game, especially on third down. And the Baltimore Ravens know that. The Baltimore Ravens know that the Bengals leave wide open gaps over the middle on third down. You stop right in the middle of your route. There's two options. You blow by your defenders, or your defenders are only there to cover whenever the pass gets completed, and you stop in the middle of your route. And that's what the Ravens did. And the Ravens are going to have the opportunity to work this clock down. The Bengals are miserable in these situations, guys. What more can I say? It's a foregone conclusion. I've seen this play out so many times with the Bengals. And then they let it go. They give up on the play. Oh my! Derrick Henry's butt cheeks came out. Oh no! Penalty. Too many cheeks on the field. Booty came out. Oh my God! They're gonna replay it too. Don't do it. Don't do it. No! Why they do him like that? Why'd they go to the replay? Oh, man, that's game. Oh, boy. Well, fellas, can't believe they zoomed in on a butt cheek replay. Ugh. Bengals are gonna have to take timeouts on this side of the 2-minute warning. Yeah, David, this one definitely isn't a ref situation. I mean, Baltimore with stuff getting called, got stuff called all night, and the Bengals have been very good about not getting penalties, but the Bengals couldn't close this one out. The Bengals are the biggest example of momentum I could ever show you. I mean, I looked at you guys when the Bengals were up 21-7 and said the Bengals will lose this game when Chase Brown fumbled that ball. If Chase Brown wouldn't have fumbled that ball, if they ended up punting instead, I think the Bengals would have won this game. But the Bengals quite literally fumbled their season away. 3 games. 3 games. I'd be surprised if the Bengals touch the football again. Just so dejected, man. Yeah, the Bengals white uniforms are great. I have the, helmet that I spent way too much for at the Bengals pro shop. I should have worn them the night they wore them, last week and lost, or no, the week before and lost. Well, that's a football game, buddy. I think the Bengals probably will get the ball back. Um, what they can do with it, I don't know, because this is the other side of the 2-minute warning. It's just the Ravens are gonna score. What a game for me to stream, right? It is the biggest example of the Cincinnati Bengals as a franchise and my fandom. I no, I do blame the players in a couple instances. Listen, costly fumbles, giving up on plays, I definitely do that. I also blame, the coaching staff, and I blame myself for being a Bengals fan. The only thing that I can't blame is Skyline chili. I can't, because Skyline chili, at least when you get it fresh, is delicious. They're not a sponsor or anything, but if you order Gold Star, Skyline, any of that stuff, and it's delivered to you, worthless, don't do it. Soggy, everything, it's just not good. It's not good. I know in my heart of hearts I should just end the stream now. I know what's gonna happen, but so mathematically, I don't think that the Ravens can run the clock out. They can run it down. I don't think they can run it out. As a Commanders fan, don't be discouraged. Game don't end till the 0's at the clock. Buddy, I am a Bengals fan, and I gotta say, this one's over. This one's over. Listen, if it comes down to Justin Tucker and the Bengals have a chance to march upfield with 4 downs to do it and a minute on the clock, well, I don't feel like I feel like they could at least threaten. But if the Ravens score a touchdown, this is a wrap, my friends. Don't let them score. No, absolutely do not let them score here. No, you wanna try to force a field goal. There you go. You wanna try to force a field goal, and I you got commentary saying, "I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati lets them score here." No. You've got a timeout left. It's 2nd down, and there's 2 minutes left. Why on earth would you let them score when you could try to force a field goal and then charge up the field and score a touchdown and win the game? That is some of the goofiest analysis I have ever heard. Let them score. Well, they're about to score, buddy. Sure is a good thing that Bengals didn't get cornerback help, right? Lou Anarumo's gotta go. GM's gotta go. Horrible. Horrible. So here's what's gonna happen. If Joe Burrow can't score a touchdown, what an embarrassing throw to give up. Cam Taylor-Britt gets embarrassed there as well. If Joe Burrow can't march up the field and score a touchdown here, it's all you're gonna hear from Chris Canty and Shannon Sharp. That's all you're gonna hear. Cam Taylor-Britt got spanked, lost on that route, didn't catch up. Safety's supposed to be there. Where's the safety? Josh Newton has to be there on that as well. Lame. Lame. My luck. They tie it up, and I got to sit here for another 40 minutes. I mean, listen, 4 down territory all the way. Listen, hear me out. If they score a touchdown, they should go for 2. Take the game into your hands. That's what I would do. I would put the game in your own hands because you might not have a chance to win the game in overtime if the Ravens get the ball first. If you score a touchdown, go for 2 in this situation every time. Horrible throw. Been live for 3 hours. This is probably one of the longest shows I've ever done in my life. Shout out to DraftKings for having me. Greatly appreciated. If you guys like what you've seen here, or hate, I don't care. Common Bengals W on Twitter. My day job is Fightful. I cover pro wrestling, break a whole bunch of wrestling news, and watch Joe Burrow throw at the foot of his receiver because he gets caught in the pocket as it collapsed. And we are about to see this one wrapped up. Should have been a face mask call there, it looked like. How on earth do you miss that face mask call? How on earth do you miss that call? That should have been a first down. Bengals should be in great field position right now. They should be beyond the 40. Fourth down. Fellas, if this game wraps up after this play, I will hit the bricks. I just want to say thank y'all. You can follow me at Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter, X, Blue Sky, all that good stuff. I would greatly appreciate it. But check out Common Bengals W. It'd mean an awful lot. Face mask should have been called. I ain't putting this game on the refs, even though this should be second down right now. Can't expect to get that call. Wow. They caught it for first down. They're going to review this to see if he caught it. He didn't catch it. He didn't catch it. It's not whether or not he made the first down. He didn't catch the ball. The ball goes up against the ground. I think that's what they're looking at. I think they're looking at if it's actually a catch as opposed to a first down. I think they're going to say that the ball. See, I think they're going to say that he didn't have a catch. I I really think that's what they're looking at as opposed to the first down. If he caught it, it's definitely a first down. I just don't think he caught the football. Meat Norma says it can hit the ground if he maintains control. It's Yoshi Voss. I don't believe he had it. All right. Guess so. Come on, fellas. It's late. First down. All right. It ain't over yet. Oh, brother. Where art thou? This is the most painless thing. And I would consider a run play with a timeout. See if Chase can or Chase Brown can break one off over this coverage. You're gonna get blitzed. I'd like to see the replay on that. Thicky isn't happy, but he's been complaining all game long. Yeah, that is absolutely pass interference. That is absolutely pass interference. So that is about 25 yards of penalties they haven't called on this drive, which is quite frustrating. And a flag. Basement. Get added. So that's good. That needed to happen, especially after they missed that one earlier. But we're looking at a play like Bengals right now based on it was on Yoshivas. Josh, the Bengals should be should be damn near the red zone now. Yeah, the Bengals should be sitting in the red zone right now. For the ball, Joe. And Jamar Chase catches it up the sidelines. Listen, flag. That's a hold. Roughing the passer. Ooh. Well, they should be sitting on the one right now. And also, Joe Burrow has been getting creamed the last 2 weeks, like with roughing the passer penalties. Yes, if you score, you absolutely go for two. Absolutely go for two. Control the game. Otherwise, the Ravens will beat you in overtime if you can score a touchdown. Throw the ball, Joe. That's pass interference. How can you push him out of bounds? How can you push him out of bounds like that? What are we talking about here? They're committing penalties on literally every play. And allowed to just launch somebody out of bounds. So I said easy with his hands. Did Sean System take overtime if it goes to overtime? No. No. I don't want it to go to overtime. I want the Bengals to score a touchdown and go for two and win the game. Flag, probably a hold. Probably a makeup call here. Hold. It's going to be against Cincinnati, almost certain. I cannot believe it. Another penalty on the Ravens. I cannot believe it. My God. Listen, the Ravens have pushed the Bengals all the way up to the goal line. They have pushed them in the position to score. Or the ball, Joe. Oh, it was almost very bad. Two more cracks at it, at least. It shouldn't even be a decision. It should be a 2-point conversion. Oh my God. Oh my God. And they're going for it. Go for two. But the Ravens have 2 timeouts and 38 seconds and Lamar Jackson on their team. They will get into field goal range. This is a lot of times in these situations, Joe Burrow throws a little bit high for his receivers. Nope, they're going to let that. Do you guys remember what I said at the beginning of this game? The Ravens are going to score 35 points. Is what I said at the beginning of this game. Okay, they are going to go for it. Chat is ahead of me a little bit, so I'm going to try to not look. Oh my God. Here we go. Ah! Fellas, well, it was a good stream. I'd like to thank DraftKings for having me on. I would like to thank them for giving me the opportunity to look very smart in all of my predictions. Until next time, my friends, we're out.